What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to our YouTube channel. If you're new here, my name is Chang, and today, as I promised, I bring you guys an AP courses tier list video. So throughout high school, I took 13 AP classes slash AP tests. So I'll be just going over every single one of them and putting one of those tiers. So obviously we got must take, pretty great, all right, meh, and stinker. So the last three tiers were inspired by KSI's tier list video. So shout out KSI. I mean, being a big fan. So but before we jump into this video, um, just again, if you like this kind of content, like, subscribe, turn on notification bell. If you have other content you want me to post, um, just to type in the comments. And speaking of comments, let me just address my stupidity um, real quick. So for the past few videos, three videos, I wanted you guys to comment, but I made the video only made for kids, so the comments are automatically turned off. So sorry about that. Now you guys can comment whatever you want. Um, just be really mindful about what you say. Um, we try to have like a family friendly community here, so yeah, just be aware of that. Otherwise, sorry about that. Right now, so everything's fixed. I'm pretty sure, and yeah, let's get right into the video. So let's start off with the class I took well, more like the test, which is AP Chinese. Um, if you guys don't know already, I'm Chinese is my native language, my first language. So I pretty much just didn't have I did prep. Like I bought like a review book, like a Chinese teacher at my school gave me some tips and some resources for me to prep with. But it wasn't like, it was comparing to the other AP classes I took, and this is definitely the least amount of prep I had to do. So, and also for the exam, I got a five, which is if I don't get a five, I'll probably get disowned by, I'm really disowned already. So, yeah, glad I got it. So, based on but yeah, as you guys know, I didn't take the class, I only took the exam. But I'm still gonna put this in must take. And here's my reasoning. Besides English, I think Chinese is the second most spoken language in the world. So if you can like learn Chinese, you get to talk to so many other people around the world. Like it's just a very important, in my opinion, pretty good life skill to have, especially if you're in like a business or marketing or in these kind of industries, because you have to interact. The more people you can interact with, you can sell a product to more people. It and also like it just helps out to like to learn the culture, everything. Like I'm not saying like it just only Chinese can do that. Obviously, Spanish, um, French, and other languages as well. They also like can give you that new perspective in the culture and also like connect with more people. So like yeah, that just apply Chinese. I'm pretty sure that's for all language classes. It's pretty important. So definitely try to hone in at least on one of the languages. You don't have to do multiple. Obviously, if you like learning new languages, that's fantastic. Good for you, man. Good for you guys. So like yeah, if you guys have like those foreign languages, go ahead take as many as you want. But I recommend at least like be really good at one language other than English. So all right, let's continue. So for my sophomore year, I took three: Cal KB, um, chemistry, and computer science A. So let's start out with computer science A since it's already here. So the class itself, the teacher didn't really the teacher didn't teach. He just gave us like a packet for us to read and a problem set for us to do. And then there's like give us like a week or two, a week and a half usually, on average, to complete all the work, and then we have an exam, like a unit exam right after. So that was kind of structure. I kind of had trouble learning the concept. even though I secured A's in both semesters. Um, and only exam I got a 4, which is not bad. It's not bad, but definitely not good because like most people who took computer science say got 5s. So I kind of set myself to that level. So, but like I just feel like if I had more like guidance throughout the way, because I had to ask questions by myself, like just ask the tutor myself to like really hone the concept, and just like reading through a packet, just not as good as somebody just like standing there and teach you things, give you lectures and stuff, like actually teaching the concepts. That would definitely be more helpful. But I overall just based on content wise, it was okay. Yeah, I feel I would understand. As I said, I would understand a little bit better if a teacher actually like give out lectures and stuff. So I'll give this. It's between all right and meh. Hmm. I would say I'll put this in all right because it's actually really important. Computer science is like one of the more important skills now in the workforce and in every industry, to be honest. Like a majority of industries, finance, investment banking, um, what else? Just engineering, just pretty much anything. Any industry. Like if you have some computer science related skills, it's just very helpful. Like more employers will like want to hire you because you have that kind of skill. You will be able to do more things, especially the internships, and also during like if you during the job as well. So I'll put in all right. Personally, it's not really that enjoyable of a class, so like I didn't really take and put in must take. So yeah. Um, all right, let's move on to my second class I took, which is chemistry. Well, so chemistry, I got out to a pretty bad start. My sophomore year, I got a B plus in the first semester, but I bounced back second semester, I got an A. To be honest, I'm surprised I got a 4 on the AP exam for chemistry, despite my minimal understanding. Overall, like I'll give this class. Hmm, it's also a tough one because it's also between man all right. Because like um, I guess I'll put it in man because the thing is I just didn't really enjoy the class that much. Even the labs were okay, um, but it just personally not really my favorite. And just like comparing to computer science, um, it's not like as widely used. There's some overlapping skills, but like still computer science is more value. Like let's say you go to like job interview employer, um, you see let's say you guys have the same major, but minor you got computer science minor and one the other had chemistry. They probably take computer science because like it's more if you know coding, like people like will like you a little bit more. So okay, that's chemistry. And now last class, calculus AB. So my school had like a pretty interesting route to say the least for us. So I took accelerated or honors algebra 2 freshman year. And we don't for those people, you can either go into pre-calculus, like honors pre-calc, or you can go to a class called honors trig calc AB, trig slash calc AB, which is basically just calc AB in general, but with trigonometry. Right now, I removed the course since trigonometry was covered in honors algebra 2 in my school, at my school. So like, yeah, so like I technically took calculus AB class, even though it's not called that. And it's gonna be same thing for calculus BC. Also, I won't get to that. So for AB first semester, I was doing well the first 3 weeks, and then I choked down finals. So I ended up A minus first semester, and then bounced back second semester, got an A. I wouldn't say it's like, I mean, it's definitely one of the class I enjoy more. Cause just like I really understood the content. The teacher was good. I just like when I walk into the AP exam, which is this is done in 2020, so like every exam is online, and so only free response version. I just feel pretty confident. So I'm pretty sure I got every single part of the question right. So Hmm. I'll put this in pretty great. I'll put this in pretty great because it's not a must take. Like if you can take BC, like just straight out of the get-go, go ahead. It's not a must take. It's not like, oh, you must take AB in order to study BC or like multivariable calculus. But like um it just yeah, I would say like if you can take straight take BC, go ahead. Right up. And I feel like for me personally, and right now my school does this, you could go from honors algebra 2 to jump straight to Cal BC. And I feel like if I did that during my sophomore year, I feel like I can still handle online course pretty well. Um, yeah. So that's all for sophomore year. And then for my junior year, I took physics one, psychology, um, BC, which I will go into what specific little class names called in the AP US history or APUSH for sure. Um, let's go to CalBC since I've been talk kind of mentioned it before. So CalBC, I went from this class trick slash CalKB, right? Into so my next path is either going to multivariable calculus or the classical calculus C, which is basically CalBC but a little bit multivariable calculus involved in it. So um I didn't want to. I my teacher recommended to jump straight to multivariable calculus, but I didn't do that because I just feel like because like A push was like the first a like humanities AP that I took, so I just feel like I just spent a lot of time on that. And since English was my first language, I think I thought I needed more time on that, more help with that, but ended up not being the case. But I didn't like my school only allowed like to drop classes or change classes during the first 2 weeks. So like I couldn't really grasp how much time I need to spend on a push. So and just my other APs in general, not just a push, but other APs as well. So yeah, I just didn't judge the time management or yeah. So I then just going to calculus C, which is fine though, because we get a free prep. Like prepping for Cal BC exam was like in the agenda. Like multivariable calculus, prepping for Cal BC exam was in the agenda. So um in general, and a walk-in exam got a 5. I mean, it's pretty simple. So and that's why even on the exams online, we took like an actual, like an entire AP exam, like with a multiple choice and a free response, not just free response. So it's a pretty fair game in general. So um, I'll put this in must take. I'll put this in must take because there's a math pretty much is the foundation for majority of the it's like science or sciences, or social sciences, or such as economics and also research. Um, they just a pretty much foundation, pretty important course to take. So and I enjoyed it. So I would say put in must take. And right now, let's see. Let's go to psychology a bit. Let's go to psychology. I think this is certainly one of my favorite APs. This is certainly one of my favorite APs, and it wasn't that difficult. Um, I had like all I had. I know like is what some people can find difficult with this class is like you had less a lot of content to memorize. But the thing is, if you just put in the work, if you just prep, if you just start prepping early, start reviewing all the vocabulary, all the terms, all the scientists, all the researchers. If you start early, that should be fine. Like it should not be a problem memorizing. And yeah, I got a 5 in that as well. So I will put this. Hmm. I'll put this in pretty great. Even though I enjoy the course a lot, and it was a relatively easy AP, but I don't think it's a must take. It's not like, oh, you must take this course in order to like, you know, be successful or anything. But it's like it's just a fun course to take, and certainly for my major, which will be um economics and accounting, I'm trying to go for investment banking as well. And there's a part in investment banking finance area as well. So like there's a part of it called behavioral finance, which is basically psychology. I really enjoyed it. I just found it fascinating, to be honest. Um, so yeah, I put it pretty great. Yeah, so far no stinkers, which is quite surprising. All right, so let's go to AP US history next. So this was it wasn't really a struggle, but it's like similar to CalCAB. I was doing great for the first semester. I was doing great in the beginning, but I kind of just choked in the end. So I know with A minus again, but second semester bounced back with an A. What really helped me prepare for the exam. I mean, the teacher definitely helped me a lot, like answer a lot of my questions. Also gave us a lot of good resources, good practice problems. He was really responsible. So like, yeah, that definitely helped a lot. But another thing that helped me a lot for a push, which I got a 5 for the exam on as well. So it was a Heimler's review packet. Shout out Steve Hamler. If you're watching this, you're amazing, man. Like this review packet, hands down, like the best deal you can ever have. Like, is like if you go and get a tutor, I don't think that's gonna be as good as Heimer's packet. Heimer's packet was like 20 bucks. If you go and find a tutor, at least $80 per session. So, or like, let's say at least it's not gonna be $20 per session. That's for sure. But like, and like, let's say you do $20 per session, let's just say, but you're gonna have multiple sessions, right? So no matter what, you're gonna have a more expensive, it can be more expensive than Heimer's package. So Harmless packet, to be honest, it just gives you a great summary, everything, gives you example, gives you practice problems to do, and just very well, like just a great packet, and it gives you like very good prep. So I definitely highly recommend that. Um, but as a course itself, like I personally like, even though I did one exam, but I didn't really like. It's not like, oh, this is a wow factor. Like I would can. It's not like for the classes I'm pretty great and must take. I'm like, oh, okay. If I have an opportunity, if I have the time, I can. If I can continue studying those subjects, I'll continue it. That's what put in pretty great. But oh, must take. So, but like A push, even though like it was a good course, but just it's not like, oh, I'm gonna go in a history major, something like that. But it's not as bad, that bad to put in a man, so I'll put in all right. I'll put this in all right. Also, if anyone can identify the image, type in the comments below. Let's see who can name the like spot the image correctly, who can name what the image was supposed to represent. Um, just a fun little game. Okay, my last um my last course for junior year was AP Physics 1. That class, I was similar to AP Physics C, electricity and magnetism, which I will get into later. Um, it didn't really like go the way I wanted. So it's like, yes, I did get A's both semester, but the grade doesn't really represent my understanding of the concept. So um, and partly of that because of the teaching style, also just like lack of prep on myself, but also like teacher didn't really stress importance prep, which like yeah, both of these things kind of like led to like a pretty bad score, which is I got 3 on physics 1, which is quite disappointing. So but if I was to put this anywhere. I'll put it in meh. Like I feel like it's not like I can't do it. It's like if I have more time, and it's not more time. If I have more prep, I would definitely do better. I'll understand the concept a little bit more. It's not like impossible to understand. It's like it's graspable. All right, moving on to the senior year, which I just graduated from. So 5 courses: microeconomics, macroeconomics, statistics, A physics, C, electricity, EMN, and AP music theory. Let's start with music theory because I feel like that's gonna be the most interesting, interesting class to talk about. And before I go into this, I'm just gonna put it in stinker. And a lot of my music lovers will probably ask me why I put it this way. And a lot of people who don't know much about this course might say, "Oh, this is an easy class. This wasn't really like you know wasn't listed in one of the tough classes. Why would you put it as a sinker?" So like it's actually that's why I thought beforehand as well. So let's just clarify. I thought it's gonna be a pretty easy course, especially on my piano background. Um, so I just feel like I'll get a 4 or 5 easily, but that's far from the case. So but I would say I did pretty well on the non-oral section, just the writing section of the exam. I got a 5 on the writing section. But the thing that also I don't realize how difficult it is the listening section. And the listening section is just like you basically have to hear like a piece of music. You have to know, what mode is this, or like what chord is the musician playing, something like that. Which is for me, like I never had that type of training, which is kind of new, and so just like kind of just unprepared for. And that's kind of part of the reason I only got 2 only oral section of the exam. But yeah, so that's why it came out total as being a 3. So like this is kind of this and the main reason why that's cause part of the main reason why I put it in Stinker because most of these courses like the courses in math and math and above like any courses including those down like we still haven't talked about here like you can like learn a course for example psychology you don't need to have like have a psychology course beforehand in order to understand AP psychology. Or like you don't need to like have a put like you don't have to know who George Washington is. You don't need to know like Thomas Jefferson is before you take AP US history. Like those you don't need to do that. And you don't need to understand you don't need to understand the money market or um the supply demand curves before you take economics classes. You don't need to do that. But for music, it's like if you like you have to have music background if you want to do really well in the exam. That's just how I feel because like I that's what I would say. If I don't have my piano background, I don't think I can even finish the written section. That's what I think. And the oral section, just like the listening section, just a way too difficult for everyone, especially if you never had experienced it before and you just especially if you once and then you never experienced it before or it's just like and you only have 1 year to prepare for it and it's not like for the first day of class the teachers will be like oh let's practice for oral even if you guys did I'm pretty sure you still cannot like um really hear all this different kind of stuff so I feel like it's kind of that's why I kind of feel like that's what this thing because it's not like it's like you have to have prior preparation, prior experiences to take a course, which in my opinion, that's just stupid. Like, that shouldn't be the case. All right, enough of negativity. So let's move on to something positive. Um, I'll do micro and macro together because my school just called it AP Economics, where first semester was macro economics, second semester was micro. So like, let's just do them together. I'll put both of these in must take. Part of the reason why is this economics is basically my major throughout high school. So I mean, not high school, sorry, college. So like, I kind of have to put it there. So yeah, and I feel like the course is pretty fun. Also, I bought Jacob Clifford's review packet. Shout out Jacob Clifford. The packet, like you get 2 packets for like $26, if I remember correctly. But no matter what, it's a very good deal. He explained the concept really well. Like let's if you have time, if you're struggling with the concept, go to his packets, his video, get his packet, like you will get it pretty much. If you do like watch the videos, do his price problems, you're probably gonna get it. So yeah, and both for both exams, as I went over in the previous video, which was a AP score reaction video. If you haven't checked it out, please do. So like, yeah, That's just a it's pretty simple, pretty much pull and must take. And yeah, let's move on to statistics. Um, Statistics in the very beginning of the course, I struggled. I struggled to keep an A minus. So like, but like I still finished semester with an A with some bounce backs on tests, on the final. And the second semester was much smoother, much easier time to get an A. The exam definitely threw a curveball at me. The multiple choice is much more difficult than I thought it would be, and also the free response, I was stumbled in the beginning, but like I did fine later on. I would say the difficulty, like what makes score so difficult, one, the amount of concepts. Um, it's like like the concept, don't get me wrong, it's not hard to understand. At least for me personally, it's not difficult to understand. However, it's just a lot of things to remember, like the wording, like when you need to explain what something means, what does the piece of statistic mean, um, what does a p-value mean, for example? That's one of the concepts in statistics. Like you just have to explain very specific wording that like it's just the things that the graders look for. And there's a lot of that. So that's kind of what makes this course difficult. Um, I wouldn't say I really enjoy the course, but I'll definitely put this in pretty great because it's pretty much a fundamental skill. Um, and pretty much any job in the STEM or social science industry. And now for the last course, AP Physics C. Hmm. So for my viewers that already took a look at last video, this is the test I did so bad on this exam. Like it's the worst I've ever done on any exams. So, excuse me. I I mean, but like I wouldn't put this in like stink or anything just because I got a bad score. Like the reason I bad score, I contribute to myself mainly because I didn't really prep that much throughout the year. Like, this is kind of also just a tip. I'll go into more tips, but I would just go. I'll just give you guys one now. Just a tip in general for not just for AP classes, for college courses, for high school honors courses, or just a regular college prep courses. Just any class. Or it could be middle school classes, elementary school classes. If you guys are around the age range when I'm watching this video right now, I highly recommend that if you don't understand something, you address it right away. Whether it's through asking teacher, finding resources online, or just get a review book for AP courses, get a review book. It just like it's better to address it right now than later because later on, especially if you're taking multiple APs or multiple different classes at the same time, um, you're gonna have a like pretty pretty tough ride, just to be honest. So yeah, definitely that's definitely one of my tips. I just start early, um, and just work hard and like yeah, try to understand the concept, not just like oh I'll just wait and get lucky. Um, you just gotta put in the work in order to like get a result. So like even though I didn't do well on physics C, electricity and magnetism, I will put this in meh because it's definitely I could definitely done a lot better. And also the concept like, it wasn't that bad. Like it was quite interesting, I'll say. So it just I didn't really want to do like, understand the concept as a senior. So like yeah, I'll definitely put myself on that. And that's it. That's a tier list. So we only got one course in Stinker. The others are either meh or all right, um, or pretty good must take. Yeah, so like those are my opinion on the AP course that I took. If you guys took any of the similar courses, or you guys have some like different opinions or some of these, please drop in the comments. I'm curious to see what you guys think about these various AP courses, or you have other AP courses that you want to chime in about, such as AP Bio, AP Environmental Science, Physics 2, or just any other class I didn't take, AP Lang, AP Lang, AP Lit. Um, yeah, just any of those courses I didn't take. If you guys have any opinions on those, yeah, drop it down in the comments to try to help everyone here. Especially people just entering high school, just entering their sophomore, junior year, or senior year. To think about what AP class to take, I think is helpful for you guys. Um, Again, if you like this kind of video, like, comment, subscribe, turn on notification bell. Also, you can just tell me in the comments what kind of videos you're gonna see. And I will try to stay on that one post per week um, streak. I'll try to do that as much as I can. Um, I do have a video ready, which is my day in the life in quarantine in China. So if you guys are curious to see that video, I can just post, I'll edit it and then I'll post it real quick. So yeah, that's about it. Thank you guys so much for watching. Thank you for your time and peace out. See you guys next time.